The first tip I'd offer about answering interview questions for a job would be to not be afraid of mistakes or blunders. If you find that you said the incorrect word, if you stammered on something, feels like you're stumbling a little bit, own it. Kind of like when you're walking on the sidewalk and you trip on one of the bricks that's just stick up a little too high and everybody sees it. Go with it. When you're answering that kind of question and they say something about, well, what was your first experience with the company like? Well, I was usually okay with the giraffes being around. I'm sorry, I said giraffes. I meant staff. I'm just going to go with staff. We did not have giraffes in the company, just staff. So acknowledge it, go with it. Because normally I would say, you don't make a mistake until you show people you made a mistake. But if you have, and it's obvious, go with it. Now, for something specific like a particular question, the one everybody gets about is, tell me about yourself. When an employer asks that, it's very vague. It can incorporate a lot of different answers and information. But really, if you think of an interview as if it were like a date, a different situation for exchanging information between two parties. Somebody asks you that question in that situation, you're only going to tell them what you want them to know about you. Those things you think would make the kind of impact you want to have on that person. Same thing. Tell us about you. They're saying, what do you want us to know about you? What do you want us to remember about you? Use that when you're answering that kind of question.
So my first tip would be to practice, whether this is in your car and you just practice saying your answers to your interview questions out loud, or you practice with a family member, or you come make an appointment with us and you practice with one of us, or practice with a roommate and have them ask you questions. However you choose to practice, I definitely encourage you to practice. Make sure as you're saying the words and phrases that they're smooth and that nothing is tripping you up and that you're familiar with your answers. Because in a real interview, your answers can be a little bit different, but as long as you already know where you're going with each question and the points that you want to make, it'll be a lot smoother if you're already familiar with what answers you want to give. And my second tip along the same lines of practicing is to use Big Interview, because that will enable you to record yourself answering interview questions. You can see how long your answers take. You can see how often you use filler words or talk with your hands or look off into space or whatever you do while you're thinking. And so this can be a really helpful tool to actually assist you in seeing how others see you during an interview, especially if that's a virtual.
My interview tip is to make sure you arrive in the space where the interview is taking place early. So it kind of helps quell some of your nerves and anxiety you may be feeling before an interview, just making sure you're in that physical space, feeling settled, and then it kind of has some of those nerves shed away when you know you're ready and you can tackle your interview. If your interview is virtual, then making sure you test your mic, test your sound, make sure you test your background, and just be ready for your interview in that way instead.
Perfect. Thank you so much.